commercial your intentions, the end user has to begin the process with you. And in that regard, we have to contemplate our solutions in terms of how much they can entertain a user, how much they can provide some utility to improve their lives, or how much dialogue they can create between the brand and the end user, or between end user and end user. The second thing I want to talk about is integration. This is Mies van der Rohe, a great architect. Many of you are probably familiar with some of his work. But one of the things that differentiated him in his era was his ability to contemplate not just the building and where it sat in its environment within an urban space, but also to think about those little details that brought the whole experience together. He designed the furniture, he designed the fittings, he designed the lighting to be very specific, and they all worked together beautifully. And it's in this context as well that we need to contemplate our interactive solutions in that integrated way. So, this brings me to some of the examples. I'm going to show you 3 examples today. And these brands have chosen to first contemplate user engagement in the manner I described, and secondly, to contemplate this level of integration. The first example I have is around the gaming industry. Hollywood has long since been a storytelling center. However, more and more gaming is becoming important. And gaming, in fact, as an industry, now generates more revenue than Hollywood. Some of you may be aware of that already. This is an interesting comparison between the Avatar release and a famous game, Modern Warfare. You see the sort of revenues associated with each. It's a phenomenal change that's occurred. But gaming also is a new storytelling medium. And it represents a different type of storytelling, one that is more lean forward and non-linear. And that's an important thing to keep in mind. So the first brand I'm going to speak about is Coca-Cola. And Coca-Cola wanted to associate their Coke Zero brand with gaming. And they wanted to draw in the demographic that drinks Coke Zero in a meaningful way into the gaming experience. And so what we created for them was a place that achieved entertainment. People could go to see reviews and trailers of new games. They could also, I need to press this much more strongly, I think. They could also participate, this is the dialogue, by contributing cheat codes and other commentary. And the third aspect, okay, maybe I'm pointing the wrong way. The third aspect was to also bring a local flavor to the story. And the local flavor was to introduce bloggers in each of the markets that this solution rolled out in. So over 10 markets across Europe participated in this. Now Italy has a different and very strong solution as well, but it is in this mode too. And so from a blogging point of view, it was really important to allow users to understand within their own geographic area what people were talking about and what sort of ideas they had around gaming. The next example is from Asus. Now Asus has really been a brand that has gained a great deal of strength in recent years on 2 bases. The first is the aesthetics, its attention to detail in the design of its PCs. And I think this looks beautiful, I think you'd agree. And they have many other of their ranges that are in this mode. The second thing is their technical capability. And so, for instance, this N series in particular utilized great technology from Bang & Olufsen in the audio equipment within the device. And secondly, they partnered on the latest Intel Core processor to bring the graphics experience to life in a very strong way. So ASUS wanted to advance that thinking, and our concept, the concept that they wanted to pursue was the notion of in search of the incredible. And we were asked to amplify that online. And we chose to do that through stories and content that really brought the in search of the incredible to life, especially honing in on stories that lent itself to the visual experience and the audio experience. Now, what's important about this is the level of integration. I mentioned this earlier. Integration, you can define it in multi-levels. So the first level of integration is the ability to pull together your owned, earned, and paid for media, bring that together. You also have to contemplate integration in terms of multinational, multi-platform. Of course, I'm from Microsoft today, but you will see that we also integrate off our platform. And for instance, Facebook and Twitter are integrated to many of these experiences, and other platforms as well. Increasingly important for the brands we work with as well is to be able to see multi-screen. So it's not just good enough to bring this solution to life on the web, but you also need to have access to this as a consumer on your phone and in your living room on your TV as well.